Sometimes you rush around like a madman and make such a mess of your work the devil himself couldn't sort it out. You start paragraphs of small letters and leave out the date and reference number altogether. Buffoon. I know why he's got it in for me. He's jealous because I get preferential treatment from the director for sharpening his pencils. And I'd never gone in the first place if there hadn't been a chance to see the cashier, you know, and making the old Jew cough up a small advance somehow or other. What a tight-fisted git! You can be down to your last penny and pleading with him till you're blue in the face, but that old Jew won't give in. Cut! Oh, sorry. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I put on my coat as it was simply teeming outside. There wasn't a soul about, except for a civil servant I saw at the crossroads. As soon as I saw him, I thought to myself, you're not going into the office today, my friend. No. You're chasing after that girl there and having a good look at her arse into the bargain. Hmm? God. What dogs our civil servants are, huh? They'd leave any officer standing and get their claws into anything that moves in their skirt. While I was engrossed in these thoughts, a carriage drove up alongside a shop I happened to be passing. I saw at once this was our director's carriage, but he couldn't be wanting anything there, so he must have called for his daughter. I flattened myself against the wall, a footman opened the carriage door, and out she fluttered. Just like a bird. The way she looked first to the right and then to the left, her eyes and eyebrows flashing back and forth. God in heaven, I thought. Lost forever. Oh, strange she should venture out in all that rain. Now, just to try and tell me, women aren't mad on clothes. She didn't recognize me. And I muffled myself up as best I could, because my overcoat, besides being covered all over in stains, had gone out of fashion ages ago. Nowadays, they're all wearing long collars, but mine are short, one over the other. And you couldn't say that the cloth had been properly waterproofed. A little dog wasn't quite quick enough to nip in after her, and so she had to stay out in the street. Now, I know that dog. She's called Medji. I hadn't been there more than a minute when I heard a faint little voice say, "Hello, Medji." Who was talking? I looked around. I saw two women walking underneath an umbrella. One was old, the other was quite young. But they had already passed when I heard that voice again.
Shame on you, Medji.
Who was talking, for God's sake? I looked down and I saw Medji sniffing around a little dog following the two ladies. No, I told myself, no, you're mistaken. No, I told myself, you must be drunk. But I hardly ever drink. But then I actually saw Medji mouth these words. I was really quite staggered to hear it speak just like a human being. several similar cases have already been reported. It said that in England, a fish swam to the surface and said 2 words in such a strange language that professors have been racking their brains for the last 3 years trying to figure out what it meant. So far, without success. Also, I read in the paper somewhere that 2 cows walked into a shop to ask for a pound of tea. No, I was much more amazed when I heard Medji say, "But I did write to you, Vidiri. Pumpkin can't have delivered my letters." Never in my life have I heard of a dog that can write. I was really quite stunned by all this. And to be honest with you, I've started hearing and seeing things that I've never heard or seen before. So right, I thought, I better follow this dog, find out who she is and what she's thinking. So I followed the 2 ladies. We crossed the road, went down another street until we came to a bridge, and we stopped in front of a large house. I know that house. That's Zirkov's. What a dump. Everybody seems to live there. Crowds of cooks, foreigners, civil servants, they all live on top of each other, just like dogs. A friend of mine who plays the trumpet very well lives there. The ladies went to the 5th floor. Fine, I thought. I shan't follow them now, but I'll make a note of the address and come back when I've got a minute to spare. October the 4th. Today is Wednesday, and that is why I went to see the director in his office. I made sure I got there early, and I sat down to sharpen all his pencils. Our director must be a very clever man. You should see his study. It's full of shelves, crammed with books. Such erudition. Such scholarship, quite above the head of any ordinary civil servant. And I've had a peep at some of the titles, all in French or German. And you should look into his face and see the deep seriousness that gleams in his eyes. And I have yet to hear him use 1 word more than is necessary. He might, for example, ask, as you handed him some papers, what's the weather like? And you might reply, dark today. You cannot compare him with the ordinary clerk. He's a true statesman. And may I say that he has a special fondness for me. If only he's... only his daughter, dog that I am. Stop it, stop it. About this time, I noticed it was past 12:30, and the director hadn't left his room. And then, at 2:30, something happened that no pen could adequately describe. The door opened, thinking it was the director. I jumped up, clutching my papers, but it was her. Herself in person. Oh my God! How she was dressed! Her dress was white, like a swan. And when she looked at me, it was like the sun shining. I swear it. She nodded and asked, "Has Papa been here?" Oh, what a voice! Like a canary, just like a canary. I felt like saying to her, Your Excellency, please don't have me put to death yet. But if that is your will, then please let it be by your own delicate little dusty hand. I was nearly struck down. Bugger. And all I managed to say was, No, miss. She looked at me, then at the books. Then she dropped her handkerchief. I threw myself and I slipped on the damn parquet floor and nearly broke my nose. However, I regained my balance. Oh! What a handkerchief. The material. Such fine material. And the smell. The smell was pure ambergris. You could tell from the smell that it belonged to a general's daughter. She thanked me. And she came so near to smiling that her sweet cherry lips